got some weird friends.
Yeah. Hey, righto, guys. So, welcome to the Fight Talk NZ podcast. Um, Myself, Scott, got Steve Pipe just back from Thailand, Mark
Years old.
Hampton just fresh of a massive show. Tonight, we're going to go over capital punishment that was going a couple of weeks ago, and we're also going to have a look at Canterbury Throwdown this weekend and whatever else pops up in between. So, how you going, gentlemen?
Good, good,
That's good.
very good.
Yeah, welcome back, Steve. How was
Thank
Thailand?
you, thank you. Yeah, Thailand was really good. Got to train at Superbon Muay Thai
Yeah.
gym in Bangkok, um, Bang Tao in Phuket, and also Phuket Singer Muay Thai in Phuket as well. And that was the first time that I'd actually been down that strip where you got like Tiger Muay Thai and everything like that. So I'd actually never been there before, so that was really cool. It was just like a. Have you guys been there before? Like the Tiger in that? Like,
I haven't been to
have you ever been there?
Tiger. No, I know that area, but I haven't been. I've not trained in Tiger.
Yeah, haven't
Right.
been there in a long, long time.
Okay. So it's basically just in the. It's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, to be fair. But you just drive down this kind of like dodgy, not dodgy road, but like not a very nice road, pretty narrow and like crappy road. But on either side, it's just like gym,
Yeah,
gym, and then you've got like takeaway shop, like food, like healthy food and like supplement shops and all kinds of stuff, pharmacies and whatnot. But it was a mean experience just driving down that road and just like people watching, just seeing like ripped fighter looking people everywhere, and obviously Tiger, and then yeah, the gym that I went to Jake's gym, and that was like I was actually really impressed with the level of fighters and stuff there. Like I was like, damn, like there was good sparring and like just high level, like yeah. So that was cool, and obviously
yeah,
Bung Tao too. So yeah, had
Yeah.
a good time, man. It was
yeah.
great.
That was cool. What did you think of Bangkok? Because it
Yeah, I
seems
thought
to have just been like just sort of like popped up and just gone
yeah,
massive, eh?
yeah. I think its location basically just destroys everywhere else.
Yeah,
The reason being is because it is in a nice area.
yeah,
It's not a party area. It's a
Yeah.
very like upmarket, family friendly, just nice part of Phuket.
yeah,
Yeah.
You've got lots of resorts and stuff all around it. And then space wise, it's just massive. You're talking like you've got a whole giant area of S&C, another giant area of Muay Thai with two rings and a whole bunch of bags. They've got a whole other another whole other striking area,
yeah,
for like just like Muay, like the top level pros, like Michael Savas and people like that.
Yeah.
And then you've got and every area is just like massive. So when you're there and you're walking around, you'll see people like Rafael Fiziev, Yuri Prohaska, all the like. I hope I said that name right. Lots of like top level fighters at UFC and Muay Thai. And yeah, it's just a cool environment to be in. It's clean, it's well run, it's a good like affordable price. Like everything there is just like really really good. So that's kind of why it's gaining so much traction. I can imagine it's just able to cater to a lot of different types of people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, eh? That's right. They've done really well, I think, eh? Well, they just seem to be growing and growing, which is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's right, man.
Oh, sweet.
That was
Capital
cool.
punishment, Mark. Tell us about it.
Oh man, like it was probably the best show we've ever put on. It was
Wow.
absolutely off the charts. I'm trying to think of the best way of going through it. So there was so many good fights.
Yeah.
Um,
How many fights did you have on it? Yeah, 19,
17?
17.
Damn, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
17. And it was
What time did you
we
get
just
finished?
10, 15.
Oh, nailed it.
That's good, bro. That's good.
And we had two breaks. So we didn't
Wow.
make a
So you
round,
just pumped through them, eh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like we want the fights to flow as fast as possible. We got like a nice little system now. It's nothing
That's
worse
me.
than going to a fight show where you don't finish till like 11 or 12, and no matter how
Yeah,
good the fights are, I just get a bit tired.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well done, man. That's awesome.
So I sort of like two things of note before we start talking about the rest of the fights that I've never seen happen. So the first one of our guys, Chris, his opponent threw a leg kick, just above the knee. really, really good leg kick. Chris jumped over it. Think about
That's
how
cool.
hard that is.
Yeah,
He
that's
jumped
tough.
over it, landed, and threw a body kick straight away.
Shit.
Oh wow, that's a cool one.
It was
Yeah,
like, I mean, like, think how hard that is. I was like, what the heck? We were in the corner and we were just looking at each other like just silent going, what the fuck? How is that
Yeah.
possible? It was magnificent.
Bro, sorry, I have actually seen that one time.
No way. Yeah.
Ricky Campbell. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
remember Ricky
Oh,
Campbell.
I love Ricky.
Tricky,
Yeah, tricky
Tricky
Ricky.
Ricky
Yeah.
versus Doug Higgins, Dynamite Doug
Yes.
Higgins.
Yeah.
They had like some wars, man. Those two, they just went at
Yeah,
it.
they're great fighters. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Ricky ran up, did a big
Yeah.
jump low kick, like run up low kick. Doug jumped in the air and threw a 2 and dropped Ricky.
Oh, really?
Jumped over his kick and just went boom and like dropped the Ricky got back up, straight away. He's
Yeah.
beast.
Ricky's awesome, man. I love his style.
Oh, bro. But yeah, that was crazy, man. That was the only time that I've seen that happen. So there we go.
All right,
Yeah,
that's out of it. That's out of it. So what was who won the fight then, Mark?
Oh, Chris won, but it was a really, really good fight.
Yeah.
Like Theroux is just really, really hard. And
I think if you're
he's
present
been on
enough
your-
to jump over a low kick, you can kind of envision that person winning the fight. Hey, you know, like Doug won that fight
like
too.
I've never seen before, It's like, what the fuck? It's like never practiced, never even heard of,
Right.
Yeah.
The other move that I really loved, and we'll talk about the fight in a bit more detail, was Iggy versus Luke. That fight had so many highlights, but the thing that was amazing was Luke was kneeing Iggy and had his head down and threw a knee, and somehow, I still don't quite know how this is possible, while he was in the clinch, Iggy slipped his body to the side to avoid the knee.
Oh, wow.
And threw a spinning elbow that took out Luke's teeth.
Oh.
And it was like...
So he was in the clinch and he
it doesn't make any sense until you see it.
Oh, yeah, explain that to me. Is he southpaw?
Fuck knows.
Yeah.
What's that?
Is Iggy southpaw?
No. But he was in the clinch.
Yeah.
So he somehow moved his body, slipped his body out of the way of a knee while he's being held in the clinch. And then continued on to spin it. Yeah, no, it makes no sense. I saw it. It made no sense. It was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, he's got quite like a thin, like wiry frame.
Oh, yeah.
But man, he's a bad man, eh? He's a bad man.
Oh, that fight was really good. So Luke, I was really excited about that fight because Luke is probably one of the strongest physical fighters I've ever seen. Like his strength is really off the charts, and he's really good technically as well. And Iggy's just insanity. I don't think even Iggy knows what he's going to do. So I mean, how do you defend against someone who's got no idea what they're going to do?
Yeah.
And so after round one, Luke comes back to the corner. We were at perfect view, and he spits out his teeth.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And puts his mouth
front teeth.
His
front teeth.
Yeah, I think it's just like top half of one of the teeth here. But like the whole it's missing. You go like, wow. It was
so it cracked one of the front teeth in half.
Gone. Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah, I think just one. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It was just like, fuck.
Damn, bro.
It was incredible. And then the fight was literally back and forth. Iggy got an 8 count on him in round 2. But the fight was just an all-out war. It would go like, it's one of those fights that like at any second.
Was it a 5-rounder? Was it a 5-rounder?
3-3s.
3-3. Oh, it's still long enough.
But at any time, if you said like who's going to win, you wouldn't bet a single dollar either way.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
That's an interesting fight for Luke, because it's he's had some really good, like real good technical fights in his last 2 or 3.
It's phenomenal.
Like his fight with Noah was pretty tight. So to throw him in with Iggy, who's so unconventional, was actually quite a cool mix. So
yeah, because Iggy's got really, really good range and really good long arms.
Yeah,
how to use them, and he's got the weirdest gas tank in the world. It looks like he's completely gassed out, and then just finds energy from Ra, the god of sun, or somewhere, and then honestly, and then he's got like hours worth of energy, and you're like, wow, it's incredible,
Yeah, you're right.
He's a specimen into Iggy, and then you go like, oh no, Iggy's in trouble. And then Iggy will come back out of nowhere, and then Luke will be in trouble, and then Luke will come back out of nowhere, and it's just like, what?
I just
Yeah.
remember his fight on King of the Ring,
Yes.
which I think it was a semi-final fight, versus
Against the guy from Outlaw, was it?
nah, not that
Oh
one.
no,
It
sorry, that was
was
yeah.
it was who was it? Oh God, I can't remember his name now. Just slipped my mind. But what I remember is him doing, like, he had his fist down at his
Oh
hip
yes.
and he kind of lined it up like a pitcher, like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he just went swoop, and his
Oh,
arm was like Dal's arm from Street Fighter, it just went like
was,
this and
was,
just
was
swoop,
that
like just
was that
Yeah.
out.
LA? Was it
Yeah,
Lights
LA?
out, eh?
yeah, that's it. Sorry, I was with Ale. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was insane. That was like really long range too, like
Yeah.
crazy long. Like
Yeah.
you
It's
wouldn't
like he's got
even
8 foot
think you
arms or
get hit
something.
at that distance. You're like, yeah, I'm safe out here. Dung,
Turns out maybe you're
out.
not. Yeah.
You're out.
Oh, that's
It's
hectic.
quite
Crazy.
crazy because on his walkout, he took time and he held his phone and they were playing, I can't remember the reggae track they were playing. It was a really good track. So the whole crowd was in the vibe. And he sang to his missus live on the phone because she couldn't make it. And
Oh,
full song. And the whole crowd was going off. He's looking around like this with sunglasses going like, yeah.
That's hilarious, bro. He's a
It was
character, man.
amazing, man. It
Honestly.
was really cool. It's such a cool
Yeah.
vibe, And
Yeah.
Luke was so cool. I mean, like, it's one of those fights that at the end of round one, like a lot of people are sitting with, thought the fight was over, just because there was so much action. You thought you'd seen all 3 rounds.
Whoa.
Had more action in one round than most fights have. Than like 3 or 4 normal fights. It
Yeah.
was epic. In all honesty, it's probably the best fight I've ever seen in New Zealand. The most exciting action
Wow.
fight was.
Oh, we've got to get that, bro. We've got to get that footage, man.
yeah,
Yes,
I'd love to
yeah,
see
I'll hook
that.
you guys up. I sort something out. It's still a while away. But yeah, the whole show was just sick, and that was absolutely epic.
And how did Mel from Hell go?
Oh, she had a really good fight against Lisa.
Yeah.
That was so Mel won it on points. Landed some quite nice elbows and some good solid kicks. And Lisa is just tough as and got really, really good awkward timing.
Yeah.
Lisa's really tall as well.
Yeah,
She's one of
Lisa
those
is a tall
people-
girl, eh?
Yeah, you think she's tall, and then you stand next to her and you go, no, you're really tall.
Yeah.
So that was a really good fight. It's really impressive work with Lisa. Just over a year ago, she broke her arm in a fight, so she's
Yeah.
a little rehab. The thing, like, I mean, Lisa's one of the nicest people in the world, but she's also tough as heck.
Yeah.
So she was training as soon as she got, even with a cast on, just working on one arm, just like punching with one arm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, how cool is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
a good fighter, that Lisa, eh? Look, that's what she's had like 6 or 7 fights now.
I think, yeah, I try to
More
remember
than
if it's
that.
around about 6 or 7 or 8.
She's got
So
motivated.
that was a really, really good fight as well.
Yeah, because she's had a few
Um,
wins.
The fight that I was really wanting to hear about was Jacob and Devontae.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Can
good
you break
fight.
that down? Can you break that one down?
Yeah, it was a really interesting fight because Devontae was coming forwards and Jacob was going backwards and just countering, controlling the range.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Devontae would come forward and try to land something, and Jacob would be gone and kind of like score a few points and move, score a few points and move. And then the first round, Jacob clinched up and landed this beautiful knee to the head. But then he should have carried on, and then backed off a little bit. So it was a fight where Devontae was coming forward and Jacob was like countering, moving back, and landing good solid shots.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was a really, really good fight. It was one of those fights that like each round was close and Jacob was often just edging it. I think it ended up being a split decision on the cards. It was one of
Wow.
those that like on one judge's cards, I think Jacob had the first 2 rounds and lost the last. On the other judge's card, he lost, I think, maybe the first 2 and won the third. So it was very, very close.
Yeah.
It was very close. But it was one of those things that like, we got. I don't know if you've seen the size of our ring, but our ring's on the smaller side.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder for someone like Jake who wants to play a bit of a tall style to get that distance.
Yeah.
So now that was a really good fight, man.
Yeah.
And
That's
Devontae
cool.
was one of the best guys in the world. Like, it was such a cool fight,
Yeah, that fight. I was like, oh man, I would love to see that fight.
Yeah.
I think it'll be even better if they rematched and both had a bit more time. So what had happened was the fight was made at late notice, and because we hadn't got a match for Jacob, and we were like, I think we were a week and a half or 2 weeks out. They just said, "Oh, call it, man." So he stopped training a little bit so he's still training, but like only a couple of times a week, and he had a lot of work stuff on. And then we're like, Simon's like, "Oh shit!" So he just had to ramp up training again. So I think if they both had a bit more time, it'll be an even better fight the second time around.
Yeah, because Devontae's been pretty active, eh?
Oh, 100%, man.
Yeah.
He's a really, really good fighter. You know, I mean,
He just fought on Art of War, like just recently.
Yeah.
You know, had a really good
we
fight.
only locked it in, I think, about a week after that because we were talking about it with me and Tony. We were talking about it beforehand, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not sure. Like, you know, he's got this fight coming up, so I want to wait and see how he goes." I'm like, "Okay." And then a few days afterwards, we had locked it in. I'm like, "Okay, that's all good." Then we ended up putting it in. I'm like, "Oh shit, Jacob, get your ass to the gym now."
Yeah.
Because he was training, but he wasn't training. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it was probably like relatively fair on that front, but it would be a better fight. That's what you're saying, right? It would be a better fight if they actually had full camps behind them to fight each other, right?
Yeah. And also, like, I mean, now they both know what they're in for. I think they'll be both better prepared for next time.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Devontae's just a complete tank.
Yeah.
He's for that weight too, man. He's like solid as.
He's a tank.
Yeah.
So and Jacob's solid as fuck as well, you know, because it was at a slightly higher weight than I think they both prefer. I mean, they both want to fight about 73.
Yeah.
So I think when they both fight again, and I know they will, that'll be much like an even better fight, you know.
Yeah. That's
amazing.
Cool. That's good. That's good. And was there anything else that really stood out? Because did you have a few novice fights in that for a start as well?
Yeah, we did.
Bit of talent coming through there.
Oh mate, there's some really, really slick talent. So Luca Carter, he fought out of his skin. If you can imagine trying to throw punches at an invisible man, he was like all over the place. He would literally slip maybe like 3, 4, 5 punches. He'd be like with his hands down, like doing this, and then next punch he'd just like parry and angle off. And there's a second punch, you know, and then he'd like parry and angle off and like pop, 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 move this way. It's like it's magnificent to watch. So he was on fire, and his opponent, oh my god, Tyler Morton. I don't know how that man is so tough because his whole face, it wasn't just his nose that was red here or here. It was like his whole face was just covered in blood. You know, thankfully not, but like he was just covered in blood. Like he kept on getting out of school, but like he had one of the best focuses of anyone I've ever seen for. I think it was his second or third padded fight. It just didn't affect him at all. And I was like, man, he's taken a lot of shots and he's still got beautiful focus.
Yeah.
So that was spectacular. And then one of the best fights of the night was a guy called Stanley Toto versus Tiffany Patana Fortune. That fight was just magnificent. So Stanley's is technically gifted like in almost every area, and Tip has punches that will put your head into orbit when they land. So the fight was just like puncher versus technician, and oh god, that fight was just epic. They fought twice in a row now, and both times decision, and now it's one each. So we've got the trilogy. Will be on a November show. Nice. That was every time they fight, it will be fighting like they're both fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Hey, before I forget too, I was going to ask you, Steve, about your boy Michael Isaac. He just had a good win too, eh?
Yeah, so he had a really, really, really good fight against Dan Luonga. That was such a good fight. I'll send you guys the fight so you can have a look.
Yeah,
and yes, you can score it for yourselves. But that was a really good match. Very competitive, great fight. I think what really won Michael the fight, what edged him the fight, I would say, was his just like forward pressure and experience.
Yeah.
He was just able to kind of just be that little bit stronger, a little bit more physically imposing, and then like use his experience to just like get the upper hand in just certain exchanges, just get that little bit better. But like, wow, Dan did such an amazing performance too. Like, he showed that he belongs at that level.
Yeah.
That was at 66 kgs. So a little bit heavier than what Michael would fight at if he was fighting at international.
Yeah.
But it was just a really, really good fight, like very impressive. Both guys just really put it on 5 2-minute rounds as well. So really
Right.
good fight, man, in the cage.
What's next for Michael, do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Who's
So
Michael? Who do you want to see him fight?
I'd love to see him fight Alejandro.
Yeah.
They again, I think we talked about this before, right? Like they've been trying to make that happen. Maybe it will happen sometime soon now that Alejandro is at CKB. Next up for him though, he's going to go to Thailand for 1 month, and he's just going to like gym hop for a bit and just scope out different gyms. And he's just going for like a full like training camp holiday just to see what gym he likes. And then his goal was to go back there again for like 4 to 6 months and then just compete on the Thai circuit for a bit and then come back. And then he'll probably look to get some big fights back here. So pretty exciting. Lots of cool options and stuff for him at the moment in Thailand. So it's an exciting time for him.
Yeah, it'd be good, eh?
What's
It'd be good
has Nicola got anything on the cards?
Yes, so Nicola does have something on the cards. I believe it's September. I think that's right. September, September, end of August, September. He's going to be September. It is September. He's fighting MMA. He's making his MMA debut in Australia.
Boy, that'll be good, man.
Yeah. So it's it's a big. Obviously, it's like a big step up for him from an MMA perspective because he's going to have to go straight in against someone with 5 or 6 MMA fights already under their belt.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. When you've got that much kickboxing experience and you're that level of a striker, you can't really. Yeah, it's unfair to fight someone with just 2 MMA fights, right?
Yeah.
100%.
So he's going in there. So obviously that's a gambler's dream.
That's
a gambler's dream, right? Like they're just like, oh, this is like going to be interesting. The old grappler versus the striker.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a sick way for him to get exposure. I can't remember the name of the promotion. He hasn't told me. I don't think he told me actually, but I'm pretty sure. You know how when they go for the UFC and they have that show, like they have like a local Australian fight show.
Yeah, I think there's Hicks and there's I'm trying to remember. There's a few of them.
Is it Infliction? Is that one?
Yeah. No, I don't think it's Infliction.
Oh, Infliction? No, Hicks. Okay, well, yeah, there's definitely Hicks, right?
Yeah.
And like a few other ones, right? So yeah, one of those ones, they'll all jump onto that. And he'll make his debut there. So that's pretty cool. Pretty excited for him. So this week we'll start in camp preparation. That'll be cool.
That's cool. Is he still rocking that fucking moustache?
Yeah, bro. You know it. I just saw Kai's post, and he's definitely still got it, bro.
Man, because I reckon with that Mo, he can just have a sleep and he doesn't need strength and conditioning, eh?
Wow.
Yeah, totally, man.
He's got it made, man. Those things
are badass, Mo.
Those things are everywhere, bro. They're everywhere.
Yeah. They're popping up.
Yeah, they are popping up, man. It's cool. Hey, it's just like walking into 1983. It's great.
Yeah. So we got Wayne's show this weekend, right?
Yeah, we do.
Now talk us through the mains. Give us a skinny, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Sick fights.
Well, there's some really good fights. The first one I'm really interested in seeing actually is Ben Langford from South Island League Guards fighting the guy Kid Shadbolt from University of Valley.
CFC.
Canterbury Fight Centre, sorry.
Yes.
Which would be quite a good fight. That Kid Shadbolt, man, he's been sort of floating around on the fringes. I've seen him fight kickboxing in a few of like XFC shows and stuff like that. He's actually pretty handy, and he's young, but he's sort of got that real natural strength to him. And obviously he's
Is that Corey Shadbolt or is that his brother?
It might be Corey, yeah, it might be Corey.
Wow, Corey's a beast, man. You see his knockout
Gary
in
Shibboleth.
Thailand.
No, it's not Corey. It's
Oh,
Gary.
Gary.
Gary. Yeah. So they're fighting. Ben Langford, I hadn't seen much of, but he fought on Vendetta this year, where he fought RJ from MTC, and he fought really, really well. He was cool. So I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
that fight. It's actually crazy when we're heading out to Aussie the other day with Caitlin. This guy came up to me in the airport. He's like, "Oh, is it your show?" I was like, "Oh, sweet." He said, "Oh, yeah, my boy fought on there," and he was so he was Ben's father. And I'd never met him, but it was so cool for him to just like come up and he did the same to Caitlin too. He just recognised them and us and just said hi, which was cool. So
Oh, that's
he was
cool.
saying that his boy's been training pretty hard out and he's sort of really focused. So it could be a pretty good fight. Another fight I'm really looking forward to is Charlie Baker and
Oh my gosh.
Benoist
Yes.
Bernard from MTC.
Bernard. Yes.
That'd be kind of interesting because Charlie's a good scrapper.
What weight is
And
that at? I thought Bernard was a bit heavier.
um, I'll tell you what weight it's at. It's at
72 and a half.
72.5.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty good weight actually. I haven't seen Benoit fight at that kind of weight before. When he fought James, that
Yeah.
was like 75 or 76, I think, for
Yeah, I
him.
thought he was like 75, 76. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so that'd be quite cool. Obviously Charlie's technically he's pretty good. Well, very good
Charlie's
actually.
tough, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
K1 rules as well, which I think
yeah.
is a good fight for Charlie because he's got really good hands.
Yeah. And
And
power.
yeah, that's it. But Benoit's a pretty fighty fighter himself, like
Oh,
he's in
it'll be
and
a
out.
superb
He's got
fight.
a
There's
big
no
right
doubt about
hand.
that.
Yeah. So and I guess I think it's his first fight back since he fought James. So he's obviously pretty hungry
Yeah.
for a win. So that'll be a good fight. Um a good fight for both of them actually. I feel like it's a bit of a step up for Benoit, but he's
Yeah.
also fought Diego and he's fought all those guys as well, so he does have experience.
Yeah.
Who else
Come
have
on.
we got there?
Reed Miller versus Spencer. That is a fight.
Yeah, that's a so
That
they've fought before, I think. I think they actually fought for that title originally. So I think it's the second
okay.
time
Yeah.
they've fought for it. It's a good looking fight though, eh?
Oh mate, that's a good fight. Like Reed's got beautiful skills, and Spencer,
Yeah,
holy cow, man, his spinning back kick.
yeah,
Woo.
yeah.
If it's not the best in New Zealand, you can make an argument that it's definitely
Yeah,
in the top two or three.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's actually grown quite well as a fighter. First time I saw Sean fight was when he fought Charlie from Fight Science, and it
Yeah,
was for an AMTA South Island title, which Charlie won.
yeah,
By TKO, I think, and then he sort of popped up on another show up in Hamilton. I thought, shit, he was going right up there. It was a tag team fight, I think, and then yeah, he's going quite well. I reckon he's going quite well. So he's really growing as a fighter. But Reed Miller's a handful, man. Like, fuck hell.
He's really good. He's like
Yeah,
he's awesome.
relentless forward pressure, and
yeah,
really like good defense too. He's
yeah,
really evasive,
yeah,
but is
and
able to just relentlessly pressure forward.
he's
Yeah, his
been
technique as
reasonably
well is
active
just
too.
like,
Like he's had a few fights.
His last fight, jeez, he just annihilated the dude. He just showed he's on a complete other level for
Yeah,
that guy, Ruben Tor. He was just
yeah,
like Ruben didn't even want to be there as soon as Reed just evaded a few of his shots and just walked in and just started throwing elbows. He was
yeah,
like
he's
he kind of checked out of the fight.
yeah.
no,
He's
he's a really good fighter. Right? That's
he's
gonna be
fucking brutal. And like like you were there, Mark, when he fought Cody down on the Fight Science show.
holy. That's a
Like
good fight.
that was a really, really active fight, a really good fight. So I think I think that's going to be a really good fight. I'm really looking forward to it actually because I don't have my ring on hire. I'm not judging. I'm not reffing. I was going to do some video stuff, but I'm not even going to do that now. I think me and, like Caitlin and the girls going up, me and Beverly and then are coming up and James and a couple of mates just going to sit back and watch the show. So it's going to be real exciting. It's going to be quite cool. So yeah, and Who else is fighting on there? I was just going to have a look. That's who I wanted. Who he likes fighting. And he's a kid that's really, really starting to come along. I reckon he's like a little Nick Order. He's just technically, and he's really tough. He's got a good chin. But the kid that he's fighting, sorry, the kid that he's fighting, Al Meady, I think his name is, from Night MMA in Timaru. Now we've sparred him a couple of times, and he is fucking super aggressive. Like he's got really, really nice hands. He's got a Taekwondo background, so he can kick, head kick, and that quite well. And like whatever they are, 61 or 62 kilos, they're really, really fast. So I think I don't know whether he hasn't fought out of nights before, but I think he may have fought overseas. But his sparring is really good. So that could be quite an interesting fight because Kahui Light's on a bit of a tear too. He's a good wee fighter. So
he's awesome, mate. He's talented as.
He is. Who else have we got? There's a heap of Wayne's boys fighting on the show. They're really good. The young fella Ratama is fighting from Fight Fit in Ashburton.
Yeah.
He's tough as nails, man. He's only a young fella. I think he's only like 15 or 16. He's fighting a kid, Niho from Phoenix Freestyle Martial Arts, who I know nothing about at all, but I know that Mason is just a savage.
Mason. That's Mason.
Yeah.
Mason's ridiculous. Like Steve, we talked about him before, Steve, and this is the guy that if you saw him and didn't know his age and experience, you would guess him as older and having like 10 to 15 fights, like in his first fight. You'd go like, no, really? He's awesome.
Yeah, was it him that fought Kahui Light on that show down in Christchurch that we commentated for WKA?
No, I don't think it was. I could be wrong though. You could be wrong.
He's really good. Really good. He won his last fight, I think, by knockout. That'd be an interesting fight. Will Knight's fighting from Night MMA as well. He's a young fella that's coming through. He might have fought Kahui maybe.
Highland Garboy, isn't he?
No. He's fighting a kid from Sutherland Liga, kid Clark, who I think is probably a fair bit older. Like I think he might be in his early 20s. Yeah. But Will Knight's pretty good, man. Like he's tall,
he's good, man. He's got talent. There's a lot of youngsters around.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's who fought. So we saw Will Knight fight Mason that night, and they both were amazing.
That's right. Mason was throwing that big left hook at him, eh?
Yeah, that was phenomenal, man. That was skills.
I reckon it's really exciting. Like just a little bit off topic, but I think it's really exciting that in that weight range, and I keep saying it all the time because they're my favourites. That 62 to 63 kilo weight range for the boys at the moment has got almost like 3 generations of fighters in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's got Nick Horder's been floating around. He might be, going off to do MMA, obviously, but he's got some of those boys that are still fighting at that weight that have been around for a while.
Yeah,
it's got the new ones coming through like Reed Miller and like Michael and those guys coming through as well. And then underneath it, it's got these whole new group of kids that are like 15 to sort of 17, 18 years old that are starting to get up to having, like 10 or 12 fights themselves that, like for the next 5 or 6 years, that's going to be a really exciting weight range, I feel. I just think
I reckon what we should do is Steve Pike should put up a promotion and he should run a 16-man tournament 2 days at 62 kilos.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll even buy a table.
When it takes 20K though.
He go from 16 to 8.
Yeah, it's got to be worth it, eh?
Yeah, and then on Saturday night do the other 3. Or you can go from 16 down to
do 2 8-men in one night, and then
either way
do the quarter and the semi, and then you end up with you do 8 fights one night, 8 the next, or 6 the next.
Yeah. You go from 16 down to 8. There goes 8 fights there.
Yeah,
and then from 8 down to 1 is 7 fights. He goes 15 fights.
Yeah,
Mate, Steve, now you have a challenge, mate. Build it
Gotta
and me
do
and
it.
Scotty will be there.
Well, if you're
Gotta
putting
do it.
20K, if you're putting 20K on it, man, I'm pretty sure that me and Steve could both get down to 62. I weighed myself the other
Steve
day.
type of rider. Like
Wait.
Steve needs to step up.
I'm the one that's gonna
Steve
raise the
hasn't got a
funds
show
here.
yet. It's your time, Steve. It's your time.
I'm gonna lose 29 kilos to do that. Yeah.
Once I get my Airbnb cranking, bro, then
Yeah, man.
I'll happily put up that 20Ks, bro. Those 20
Yes.
Gs.
That'd be cool.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
Imagine
bro.
that. Like running it over 2 days. How good would that be?
That'd be
Even
awesome,
if you had
eh?
I was just thinking about this day, like what Scotty was saying, like even if you had 2 8-mans in one night, and then like the winner of each 8-man fights each other.
Yeah.
the
That's
only
kind of
thing with
like,
that
to
is
be
then
honest,
you've
that's
got
kind of sadistic
two
though,
fights
you
one
know,
night.
because like you finish an 8-man and you're like, I just want to go home, you know,
Yeah.
but I've got to fight someone else that's
For the
already
money.
won 3 fights. Like, fuck, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be hard case, hey. That'd be
Yeah.
cool though, wouldn't it? That'd be
That'll be 'cause I think the biggest prize pool in New Zealand was, what was it? Keo versus Fanta for $20,000, the KGB fight. Do you remember that one, Steve? From back in the day?
Nah, that one oh wait, hold on. What was that one?
I think it was I'm pretty sure it was Keo versus Partai
Oh no,
for
I don't know.
20K.
No.
I've got the post of it somewhere, but like, I mean, man, how cool would 20K 8-man be, or 16-man?
Honestly, I would love to have a fight show where it was like a $20,000 8-man. Like I would love
Yeah.
to do that. I gotta talk to my baller friends and be like, hey,
Yeah, man. Oh,
you got the
Mark,
money, bro. Let's
You
make
get
it
the money,
happen.
we'll put it on in Wellington.
because you tried pretty hard
Money's a
last
hard
year to
one.
get that 62 kilo one going, eh? You couldn't quite get it there.
Oh, that was a complete abortion, mate. Complete abortion. You
Mm.
know, it's a great idea, but like the amount of people pulling out of it just meant it just wasn't feasible anymore.
Yeah,
You know, it was a
Yeah.
shame. Would have been wonderful. You know, and the reason why I
Yeah.
chose 62 was because at that time I counted at least 14 people who could be in it, who could win. You know, and then people just pulled out, or this and that, and just got to be too hard. It's like, oh,
yeah,
shame.
Yeah.
Would have been a great idea, you know.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, that was sweet as. What other fights? Oh man, did you see one championship last Friday night? Man, did you see any of the fights on that? It was savage.
That's good. Really?
I,
What was the best one?
I think I just saw. Wait, was the last fight was the one that ended with the eye poke? Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah. I was really wanting to watch that one. That was Cool Up Dumb, right? And
Yeah,
Ruffy.
yeah. That's why you got the poke in the eye. That
Oh,
was
really?
it.
Rocky.
Bro, I was just really wanting to watch that fight, and then I started watching and that happened, and I was like, no, too early. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was some really good fights. I can't remember the guy's name. There was a couple of Thai guys that fought, and holy fuck, it was just hectic. Okay, they're just smashing each other. One of them got like knocked down, and then the other one got knocked down, and then just fucking whammo finished him. Eh? Like the guy came in and dropped him like a rock, got him up, and he threw this teep at this guy's head, which he kind of missed. Came in to throw something else, and as he's coming in, the guy just went pop like that and just dropped him. I thought he was dead. He just like flattened him, you know. So like this was all in the first 30 seconds. So gets knocked down, knocks the other guy down, and then gets him over on the ropes and just finishes him.
Wait, no, I think I know what the fight you're talking about. Is it Satan Fa or something like that? Satan
Yeah,
Fa versus I think it's like an Iranian guy, eh?
yeah, it was. That's
Or
it.
yeah, like it was like a Westerner versus yeah, I know the fight you're referring to. So the Westerner got dropped first. The Iranian
Yeah,
dude got dropped first, got up. The guy was coming in for the finish, and he just popped him right,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
he just
yeah.
comboed him till he gave like basically just collapsed on the ground, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and it was a beautiful, beautiful punch. Like the guy threw the teep, then backed off, and then just came to launch in, and he just went straight down
Just
the middle.
boom.
Straight into
Yeah,
the right hand. Just dropped him. It
yeah,
was
that was a
awesome.
good fight too. That was a really good fight. That was crazy. Yeah, no, there's been some pretty man. pretty hectic fights on that show lately. Yeah,
Yeah, hey,
definitely that was a highlight for me going to watch that, like being there live. I was just really lucky.
Humble brag.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, bro, I gotta say, man, like it's just the stars align, you know. Like
Yeah.
I had to give up going to the snake farm and holding like pythons and stuff. So that was like a
Snake farm's cool.
snake farm. Yeah, man. I was like, fuck, I really want to go do that, eh? Like my son did it. He was holding this giant python and stuff. So yeah, I missed out on that. But to go to that show was worth it. Yeah.
and like it's not like we're there with like stink company either, eh? Like
Yeah.
VIP, bro. Like let's not discount play this, eh? Like
Yeah.
VIP
I was
with
just
like
standing there and I'm like just watching all these people come up and just like get photos and shit with Singdam. That guy's just like too famous, man. He's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, he's an
Yeah,
amazing fighter, eh, bro? That was a mean hookup, eh? I was so jealous, man. I
yeah.
saw your story coming up. I was like,
All those
motherfucker.
years of just getting all those years of just getting hidings from him, bro. I guess I just earned his respect, you know.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had to spar him, Filippo, the owner of Yokkao, he was like, Steve, you want to do sparring? Yeah, come on, jump on the ring. So I get in the ring and there's three ties. One of those ties is Singnam. And there's these two other guys. And I'm like thinking to myself, oh, they'll partner me up with one of the like lower tier guys. All right, Singnam, you off him. And then Singnam just kind of looks like that with his eyebrow raised, just like, are you serious? Like that? And yeah, and then he just like walked me down and just like basically just like TKO'd me, but not with power. Just every single kick just hit like right on like that spot, like right there, you know, like
Oh,
right. Like he'll think he's gonna box with you, and then just whap, that kick just goes bang on your arm, and every kick, I swear to God, every kick hits on the exact same spot, every shot, and you just slowly feel your arm dying, and then you're
oh,
like, oh man, this is not good. Even when you check, you know, it just goes there. Like it goes
oh,
up and down onto that spot.
oh, oh, that's not good.
Terrible. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Hey, the other thing I meant to say too, before I forget, did you guys see any of that Lights Out for Hospice show that
I
Evolution put
did
on?
actually. I watched the stream. So I watched the stream afterwards. I only watched a couple of fights.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I see. I don't know who won. I started watching Limanu and Bagnet that fight, and they got into like the third round, and the thing cut out. I was like, oh, so I still don't actually know who even won it. What I did see for a
Kane won it,
start is
man.
that
Yeah,
Bagnet was on top in the first couple of rounds. I think he had a lot of pressure
yeah,
on Greg,
yeah.
but
So
I don't
remember
know
when we
what
talked
the
about that
outcome
fight?
was.
I was saying he was the guy who like was a Taekwondo rep. I think from memory, he's definitely New Zealand champ. I think he went to the Worlds. May have. I don't know if he won a world championship, but it's really good. He
Wait,
fought
what was that guy's name?
Kane. How do you pronounce his last name? I thought it was Bajan, but I don't think it's right.
Bajan, sorry, yeah, Bajan.
Yeah, yeah. I could be wrong, but either way, he's really, really good. Hasn't fought in years.
Yeah,
But during the fight, he was doing both stances, changing back and forth,
yeah,
doing kick left hooks on entry, doing side kick, spinning back kick. He's good, man. He's always been good.
yeah.
I haven't seen him fight in maybe 10 years. So
Oh,
he fought
really?
over here a few times, was doing really well. Then
Yeah,
went to Aussie with his partner, and
yeah.
then he fought in Aussie, I think 6, 7, or 8 times. And then he came back here and started a gym up with his partner. I think they one
About
kid maybe.
fitness.
And yeah, about fitness. And hasn't fought since and just comes out of nowhere and fights like this. But like, I mean, he's always been good. When we talked about him last time, I was like, man, you want to watch this fight. He's good. Like he's not there to make it numbers, you know. And Greg's really, really good as well.
Yeah, because I'm really impressed with him as a fighter, eh, from what I've seen of him. I haven't seen heaps
Yeah.
of him, but what I have seen of him, he's always been on, eh? He's always a very tough opponent.
Oh, 100%, you know. Then the other main was Zion versus what's his
Oh,
name?
Chicane Howard.
Kane, that's right. And you began with S completely. Yeah, and Zion, man, he dropped him in round one with a body shot. And that was all she wrote.
Yeah, that
So
was an
Zion's looking
amazing shot, eh? Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
Zion's good, man. He's really, really good. He's probably one of the most active 62s out of Wellington at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rumor has it might be in a 4-man at the end of the year.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. That's the rumor anyway.
I'd really like to see him fight Charlie. I reckon that'd be a good fight, eh?
Who, sorry?
Charlie from Fight Science.
Yeah, that'll be real good,
Carolyn
eh?
Beatties, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. Well, I mean, like, depending who else is in the 4-man, but like, I mean, that could likely happen. That'll be a fucking good fight.
Yeah, I reckon it would be too. There's some good ones getting around.
He's a little bit
Hey,
lighter. He fights at 58 to 16, goes up to 62 sometimes.
yeah,
So kind of in that weight division where you kind of have to go up to get fights, but every now and again you get lucky and get one in your weight division. So that was a title at the one he fought on Lights Out was at 60 kilos.
yeah, that was for the WKBF lightweight, eh?
Yeah, full Thai rules. So I mean, it was a good fight, but
I thought that show was actually pretty awesome, eh? I thought the crowd seemed to be right into it, and
yeah,
they had pretty good matches as well. You know, they had some of the kids on there that was getting in there, and I thought there were some pretty solid performances from some of those first timers and second timers and that. I thought it was good. So I I hope that Tommy and that did all right, and that because it was a massive cause, um, for
yeah,
their local hospice. Well, I think Waipuna Hospice, I think they're called.
yeah.
So that was awesome, and I'm pretty sure you can still donate money and stuff, if you're able or whatever.
Yeah, we'll flick the link up below, eh?
Yeah, well, the links all over everything. So yeah, we can definitely do that. It'd be cool. And the other thing I need to shout out to is our boys at Fight HQ, because this week obviously we've had some really big stuff for Caitlin, with becoming the new ambassador for Fight HQ, which is fucking cool as, because it's cool for us, but it's also cool for New Zealand, I think, because like we went over there and had a look at their factory and everything, man, and they want to get over here. Like they're shipping here daily, but they also want to start getting involved with shows over here as well, and like financially getting involved and stuff like that. And I believe there's some pretty big stuff in the pipeline, like really big stuff for them coming up, possibly over here. So the gear that they've got is really good, man, and they've really looked after Caitlin. So I should have to give them a bit of a shout out and a big thanks for us out.
100%.
All.
Nice,
But the guys are cool, man. Like, they're all ex fighters, and and Nick Atkins and those guys. They're pretty been around, so they know what they're looking at, know what the gear is. So it's really good. That helped us out. What else? What else is coming up, Mark? What do you got? Got any gossip for me? You allowed to tell me yet?
Oh, got some fights going to release next week. Mel's doubling up. Mel's fighting next week in Gisborne.
Oh, is she?
So
Oh, on the Gizzy
yeah,
show. That'd be cool.
yeah, they're real good actually. So
What's
looking
that
forward
called?
to that.
Ta'ihi Aho, is that what it's called?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My English pronunciation is bad. My Māori is even worse, I'm afraid.
So who's she fighting?
She's fighting Ihipera Meke.
Oh, mean.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a very hard fight.
Yeah, because there's like five of those girls, hey. Oh no, she's one of the daughters, isn't she?
I think there's 15 that I know of from memory, and they're all really tough and really good. So
Yeah, sweet. Righto. Well, we should probably call it for now, eh? It's getting on a bit late.
100%, gentlemen. Thank you very much for the
Up,
lovely
boys.
as always.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks for
Good
your
to chat.
time, guys. We'll catch up soon, eh?
Yep,
100%.
100%. See you
Okay.
guys.
See you later.